Hi everyone, this is Scott Swanay with Fantasy Baseball Sherpa. I'm here with a 2012 Fantasy Baseball preview of the Chicago Cubs pitchers. Now the Cubs are probably going to win just 70 to 75 games this season. I forecast that they'll finish with a record of 72 and 90. But the good news, if you can call it that, for Cubs fans, is that 72 wins might actually be enough for fourth place in the NL Central. That's because the Astros and the Pirates are also in the same division. It's really a three-team horse race for the bottom there. Now, the Reds should win the division pretty easily. The Cardinals and the Brewers will finish second and third in some order. The Cubs, even though their pitching staff isn't very good, they do have several viable mixed league options, starting with Matt Garza, who's their ace. There's a good chance he'll be traded at some point during the season, which could potentially improve his numbers if he's in a more favorable pitching environment. But assuming that he stays at Wrigley all season, I forecast for him this season 205 innings pitched, 12 wins, a 3.60 ERA, a 125 whip, and a strikeout per 9 ratio of 8. Ryan Dempster is also a good mixed league starting pitcher option. He had a bit of a down season last year, but he's been consistent since he moved back into the rotation several years ago, so I'm confident that he'll bounce back this year. I'm looking at him this year for 205 innings, 12 wins, a 4.25 ERA, a 135 whip, and a strikeout per 9 ratio of 8. Carlos Marmol is the Cubs closer. He's a bit of a horror show, but he'll strike out a lot of guys and save a number of games, but his ratios won't look pretty. You know that's the deal when you sign up for him. I'm forecasting he'll save 30 to 35 games this year, pitch 75 innings, 3.45 ERA, a 135 whip, and he'll strike out 13 guys per 9 innings, which is fantastic. If you're speculating for saves in the Cubs bullpen, there are two guys that you should keep an eye on. First is Kerry Wood. He still has the ability to be a closer at this point in his career, but the main problem for him is just being able to stay healthy for any long stretches of time. My forecast for him this season is for 50 innings pitched, a 3.45 ERA, a 135 whip, and 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. The other option, if you're speculating for saves in the Cubs bullpen, is Jeff Samardzija. Now, the Cubs have played Hamlet with him the last few years, yanking him back and forth constantly between the bullpen and the rotation, but it looks like he's going to be in the bullpen for the foreseeable future. I'm forecasting for Samardzija 75 innings pitched, a 3.50 ERA, 145 whip, and almost 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. Now, NL-only options, we've got Travis Wood, who right now is in a battle with Chris Volstad to make for a starting rotation spot. But trust me, the sooner the Cubs figure out that Chris Volstad belongs in the bullpen or even in Indianapolis, the better off they'll be. Assuming that Wood does get the spot, I forecast that he'll pitch 160 innings this year, win 8 games, 4.35 ERA, and a 135 whip. And he'll strike out roughly 7.5 guys per 9 innings. Keep in mind he's only 25, so there's still plenty of time for him to improve. Randy Wells is another NL-only option. He pitched well in 2009 and 2010, but he came down with a severe case of gopheritis last year. He pitched 135 innings and gave up 23 home runs just in those 135 innings. Look for him to improve in those areas this year. I'm projecting he'll pitch 160 innings, win 8 games, 4.35 ERA, a 135 whip, and his K9 rate will be just under 6 per 9 innings. Paul Maholm was the de facto ace for the Pittsburgh Pirates for about half a dozen years, which tells you all you need to know about the Pirates. Now with the Cubs pitching staff, he's more likely to be the 5th starting pitcher. Now, I'm looking at him this season for 175 innings pitched, 7 wins, a 4.25 ERA, a 140 whip, but his K9 rate will barely be over 5, which explains why he's never going to be a dominant pitcher. Please visit us at fantasybaseballsherpa.com. We've got customizable player projections and rankings for over 700 players. They're updated continuously right up through opening day. You can also find us on Twitter at fantasy_Sherpa. And I'm Scott Swanay for Fantasy Baseball Sherpa. See you next time.